I love fighting games. They are basically my favorite video game genre ever. The thing is though, there's a ton of different ones to try out there and they offer very diverse experiences. And there isn't a specific subgenre of fighting games that even though I try and try, I just cannot get into them. And those are anime fighters. And in this video, I want to discuss and debate with all of you guys why this happens to me and go into character design, gameplay features, and see if any of you also suffers from this, because it is absolutely insane that I've been playing fighting games for well over 20 years and I have tried franchises over franchises, dozens and dozens of them, and I just cannot get into any anime fighter. The first huge disclaimer about my own experience with them is that I even have a very close friend of mine that plays a ton of fighting games and his main subgenre arguably is anime fighters. So I even have someone that can teach me how to play them and someone that I can enjoy the games with because he's a very close friend of mine, and even with that I just can't get into these games. The first topic I would like to talk about is character design, because I feel like that is the main reason why I just cannot get into these games. Of course, there's different anime fighters, so I'm not gonna generalize about it, but I'm gonna talk about Melty, Undernight, and Granblue Fantasy Versus, because I would argue that those are the three main anime fighters out there during the last few years, and at the moment Granblue is obviously the biggest anime fighter out there. Character design for me is one of the most relevant things in any fighting game. It's kind of like one of the main reasons why you get into these games in the first place, and when you watch, for example, a trailer or some gameplay for a fighting game, you don't instantly think, what a deep and interesting mechanic. No, you think about the characters, okay? You see the characters and think, oh, they look so cool, their special moves are so flashy and amazing, their super moves looks incredible, their cinematics and the weapons that they use to fight are so cool also. So characters are one of like those hooks in fighting game that get you to even buy the game in itself. And one cool character, one great looking, great designed character is enough for any fighting game fan, to be honest, to put 60 bucks on a game. Like, when you love a character, dude, you're gonna play the freaking game, and that doesn't happen to me with anime fighters that often. Let's dive a little into Melty, because I think that you can argue that it has the most polarizing characters of all these anime fighters that I was talking about, probably because the origin of Melty is a porn visual novel. Yeah, it is. And I bought type Lumina, I played the game solo and also with a friend, and I just couldn't stick to it, even though I thought that it was fun, it had cool mechanics, it was very fast paced, so that makes it even more fun, personally speaking. But the characters, dude, are just so bare bones, like they don't have any charm. It's incredible. Some of them are cool, like Blob for example, and Roa to some point. Not really, just a guy with a white shirt. You know, I try to play them, I try to enjoy the game, but the characters just stop me from sticking into the game because they are so boring. And please do not try to argue with me that a character, you know, a girl being 100 years old but that looks like a 12-year-old and is sort of a witch, that is not a personality. You know, that doesn't give charm to the character. Maybe for you it does, not for me, okay? And in that sense, I just can't get into these games because of these freaking characters. Like, why are they so bland? Why can't we design cooler characters when we have such cool gameplay? And when we obviously could take some of these characters and like redesign them to make them more cool, and even still have some of their like storylines and stuff. You don't need to have them look the same for 10 years or more. Like, you can change them a little to make them, you know, a little more spicy and interesting. Why do they look the same that they did 20 years ago, you know? So that's one of the main reasons why I cannot get into anime fighters. Then we also have Undernight. I do like Undernight characters a little more, and I'm actually kind of excited for the game when, you know, when it's on sale. I want to buy it and try it out because I like a couple or more characters from the game. But still, they just don't get into me on a deeper level, like for example characters from SNK, which I love a lot, or other ones. That is of course also because I didn't play anime fighters as I was a kid, and I can understand that I don't really have, you know, an emotional deep connection with them as I have with other franchises. But even with that, when I see a cool character, I just play the game. Like that happened to me with Guilty Gear, for example. I knew nothing about Guilty Gear, and with Strive, I just had to get the game because the characters look incredible. But with these two games, Melty and Undernight, these games just cannot convince me yet. Undernight is kind of like the close one, okay? I'm gonna probably buy the game on sale and try it because it's getting there, you know, it's getting closer. So hopefully this game gets me to play some anime fighters and enjoy them, but still, it's not completely, you know, convincing me. It's right on the line. And then of course we have Granblue, and with Granblue I kind of want to move to the gameplay part of anime fighters. Granblue is different, of course. It's kind of like the Street Fighter anime fighter. And that is like a niche. It's a very specific audience that wanted to play a Street Fighter like game but that look like an anime. And Granblue does that. Like, the game looks very good. It actually has very good like visual aesthetics. It's a beautiful game, and it has some cool characters, but it also has very polarizing ones, okay? Just like Melty and Undernight, it has very polarizing ones. And in that sense, it's again hard for me to get into the game, even though I like the characters, some of them. The gameplay, it's actually the thing that got me kind of off from this game. It's not really the characters this time, even though there are some polarizing ones. I love a lot of characters in Granblue actually, but how the hell am I gonna play a game that feels so slow? It kind of like takes you off of why you want to play an anime fighter in the first place, in the sense that at least someone like me that has been playing fighting games for a long time, I want to play anime fighters because they can offer very fast-paced gameplay, and in that sense I would like to try some of them out, but the characters stop me from getting into that. And now comes Granblue, a game that has kind of cooler characters but has the gameplay aspect off. So I'm basically playing Street Fighter anime. Why would I do that? I better go play some Alpha series, dude. Like, why would I play Granblue in that sense? At least someone like me, you know, with my profile of a fighting game player. So this has made me super like difficult for me to get into anime fighters, and actually the only anime game that I have played is Dragon Ball FighterZ because I love Dragon Ball. But the problem with that is that this is not really an anime fighter, it's a tag fighting game. And even though tag fighting games kind of have some similarities with anime fighters in the sense that they are very fast paced and super crazy and like dynamic and chaotic, they are not exactly the same. So in that sense, I'm kind of still waiting for an anime fighter that can offer the level of character design that something like Dragon Ball FighterZ had visually, and because characters are of course from Dragon Ball. But also like something that does something similar to, for example, KOF. I think that KOF characters are very cool, and they are kind of anime, depending on the character that you're looking at. And we still don't have an anime fighter, in my personal opinion, that has characters as cool as the other fighting game franchises, offering that type of, you know, super dynamic and chaotic gameplay. So I just hope that we can get that in the future. And of course, I'm gonna give Undernight a try. Like, that is kind of the anime game that is getting me there, you know. It's kind of like getting me excited to play some anime fighters. And I've also seen a lot of videos of people talking that the gameplay on the new Undernight is incredible, that it has great defense also, which is something that is lacking on most modern fighting games. So I'm going to give Undernight a try when it goes on sale again. But I hope, you know, that is enough. I don't know if it will be for me to get into anime fighting games through Undernight. And let's see if I can enjoy it, but I'm of course gonna give it a try. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Do you think that anime fighters actually have a character design problem? And let's see you on the next video, guys.